Let's talk about grief. And today's topic is going to be about teens dating older. Now, for a lot of people, when they're in their teens, they think, I'm mature, I can date people that are older, they see my greatness, they see my intelligence, and this is going to be a great thing. And so they end up dating people older than them. And they might even say, y'all don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm doing. Nobody's taking advantage of me. But then they get older. Those teens become adults. And as adults, they start to realize wait a minute, I think I was taken advantage of. You know what? I know I was taken advantage of. I was a kid, I was a child. Why was this older person looking at me like that? Why was this older person trying to tell me that I was just this perfect person for them? Now that they are either at the same age as the person that they dated or they're close to that age, they're starting to realize, ooh, no, there were certain things that happened that should not have happened to me because I was a child. And that's when grief kicks in. Now, for a lot of people, they might say, "Oh, well, you knew better. You were grown enough to do it," and all of these things. But let's be real. Let's talk about this right quick. When you're a child, your brain does not fully develop until you are what? 26. So, if you're a teenager, you're still in the stages of figuring out your own identity. And when someone older comes along, you're going to feel like you belong, you're mature. And so you're going to continue to hang with that person, listen to that person. And over time, you're going to look to that older person as an authority. You might not even realize you're doing it from the beginning, but you are. And it's going to be easier for you to let the older person make the decisions and persuade you to do things that you're not ready to do or that you had no idea you would be presented with as as something to do. And so now that you're older, you have a chance to look at it and go, I realized I wasn't ready for X, Y, and Z. I really didn't want to do those things. And I told myself that that's what I have to do because I'm in that relationship, or that's what I got to do because that's what I signed up for. But did you really sign up to be taken advantage of? No. And so this might be the time that all of these feelings are hitting you and you're trying to figure out, what do I do with this? Who do I talk to? Because some people that knew me back then, they might be like, what are you complaining for? We tried to tell you and you ignored us. So what's the problem? Like, what are you doing? And so it might be hard for you to find someone to talk to. I would definitely say, if you are starting to realize how many times you were taken advantage of, and the fact that certain things that you were part of, certain decisions you thought you made, and you're figuring out you didn't make them, it was made for you by someone else, and you were pushed into it. There's a thing called fawning. You know, fight, flight, freeze, but there's fawn or faint. Fawning means you go along to get along. You don't necessarily want to do, but you feel like that's your only option and you just got to suck it up, buttercup. And a lot of people did that. And now here you come talking about how that was wrong. And a lot of people don't know what to do with that. So I would strongly suggest you get into some therapy to have a safe space where you can unpack what in the world was I doing and what in the world were the adults doing around me. And that way you can be able to figure out how to explain it and explore on your own terms. And then you can be able to talk to people who would actually listen, and for you not to listen to the people who are going to try to shame you and fuss at you and dismiss the fact that you realized you were taken advantage of. And yes, that is grief. And you're going to feel all kind of ways. So definitely take time out for yourself and please unpack in pieces. Like I said, therapy to make sure that you have enough energy to be able to think about what exactly happened and figure out where you go from here, what kind of standards and expectations you have going forward. If you have children, what are you telling your children? What are you telling your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren? What are you telling other people to help them understand that you you have a right to acknowledge how you feel. Maybe you didn't know that you were being taken advantage of in the beginning, but now that you know, and you can unpack that. So take time out for yourself and remember, if it matters to you, it matters. So take care.